But honestly, purpose is what keeps most of us going. It could be something so small, but it keeps most of us going.
Ryan, you going to say something?
Do you think in some way to fully fulfill your purpose, you have to be selfish? Because I don't believe you can pour into others properly until your glass is full yourself. Seriously, I really don't. I think you have to, as family men, as men who have got brothers, sisters and whatnot, yes, you have to take time to make time for everything. But at the same time, do you think your North Star has to be, do you know what, I have to in some way be selfish and focus on myself so I can be the best version for the people around me?
So I would say the concept of what you're saying, I think is completely true. I always say to people, you cannot pour from an empty cup. When you get in a plane, they're telling you, before you're trying to put an oxygen mask on your kids, put it on yourself, please, because you're useless without the mask in it. So I 100% believe in the concept of what you're saying. Whether I would use the term selfish, I don't know. But that's neither here or there. I think that's semantics. I think what you're really saying is like, if you don't take the time to be determined, block yourself up from all the noise around you to actually just do what you're doing, how can you actually fulfill your purpose? And it does take some self-awareness of who you need to block out. Certain times you have to do things that doesn't favor other people at that point in time. But that's all part of trying to fulfill, your purpose in order to help people, right? Eventually anyway. And so how selfish is it really? Because actually what you're trying to do is you're trying to make sure that you are who you're supposed to be in order that people can benefit from you in the long run. And actually, is that selfish? It might be selfish in the short term, but actually might be doing what you need to do in the long term for you to fulfill purpose. And I think, sometimes, as a dad, I just need to chill in the room by myself, man. like I don't need to hear anyone, man. Is that selfish? Maybe in that point in time. But if I don't take this 10 minutes now, it might be crazy for everyone for the rest of the day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's what we're saying. You have to, you have to kind of carve out. I say it all the time, carve out time. And I don't know where I start. I don't know. I was trying to think why I started to use the term carve out time, but it's something I've been saying for a long time. And I do think it is about carving out time, because I think actually the time sometimes for some people is already predetermined. Like your work life is your work life, and actually some people can't see to the end of that. So how they consider time is actually anything but work. So you now got to say to yourself, right, how do I carve out a slice of that to do something, a slice of that to go and do the gym, a slice of that to go and deal with the kids and so on. And I think it is about carving it out. It's about saying, do you know what, this is something that's important to me. And either for my benefit or for the benefit of others. And that's where it gets to like the selfless part of it. Because you're basically saying, I'm going to go without for the benefit of other people. And I suppose some people are on that side of the spectrum where actually their purpose is to provide endlessly through a product, through a service, through advice, through help and so on. You have to kind of give up part of yourself to kind of get the job done.
No, me and Shuey talk about this a lot, and it's like, for me personally, I definitely want to be the best father I can to my children, hands down. But would I say it's my purpose? I don't believe so. And for me, there's been times in my life, probably when I've been at my darkest moments, where I've got a beautiful family around me. If people are looking from the outside, they'll probably be like, what has he got to complain about? He's got a wife, he's got kids, whatnot. But as you said, as before, there's something inside you that just feels like there's more. There's more I can be getting out of myself. I know I've got my kids. I know I'm a good dad. I know all of this stuff. But that's not what I feel inside of me is why I'm here. Although some people, may disagree.
Yeah, and you know what? It's interesting because I think sometimes that can be misunderstood as you're never satisfied. You know, the kind of pursuit of more sometimes is linked to you're never content with what you've got and you always want more. And I think sometimes the fear of, you know, we spoke about on the other episode about, you know, giving a story or, you know, trying to bring somebody on the journey with you, be it your partner, significant other, trying to bring them on the journey of why you're doing something. Sometimes those behaviors are misunderstood as, I don't know if I want to go on the journey this time because you know what? Once he's actually achieved that, he's going to ask for something else, and he's going to want more. Yeah. And it's hard to. It's you know it's a circular problem, isn't it? Yeah, it's a circular problem.
I think purpose is important though to establish in anything, and I only say that because it brings a clarity. I think even like no one is even saying that. You find your real purpose, that's perfect. That's like amazing. You've stumbled across it. Fantastic. You know, your Steve Jobs, you made Apple, or your Bill Gates, you made Microsoft. Like amazing if you stumbled across what you was made to do. But I also believe in being purposeful in what you do. And when I say that, what do I mean? Like, don't just do something for no reason. Like, there has to be, once again, it's back to this North Star. So if I'm grooming my kids in a particular way, it's because I have a purpose that I'm trying to achieve. If I am trying to better myself through further education, it's because I have a purpose that I'm trying to achieve. So why would I choose this course and this time over maybe something else? If I decided to take a step back in my career, and some people might see it as a backward step because I wanted to move into another career, learn a bit more, and then go up the ladder that way, I'm doing that because I have a purpose, right? And so sometimes purpose helps to kind of come out from the clouds of all the noise that people might say. Oh, why don't you do this? Why are you doing that? Do you understand? I don't know if you've experienced that before. You're trying to do something. People are like, no, I don't think that's the best thing. Ideas, and everyone's got good intentions, but it might not work for me. And actually, it takes a real it takes a conscious person to ask the right questions rather than to tell you what to do. So you might say, oh, I want to do this. I'll be like, okay, so what's the reasoning behind that? Jones, they're like, obviously, I'm not going to be selfish and be like, no, that's dead, man. I don't think you should do that. But I'll just genuinely be curious as to say, okay, like, talk to me about why you want to do some of this, because I think those are the tools that we can use on ourselves to establish purpose all the time. You want to do something, just sit down and talk to yourself and say, okay, why are you doing this? Say like, or what's the reason behind that?
Do you know what? Do you think that some men are afraid, or us as men in general, are afraid to say, I'm doing this for myself? Do you think, I think women can say, I need to do this for me. I need to do this for me. I need to have, but as soon as a man says, I'm doing this for me, sometimes it almost feels like, okay, he's being selfish now. Okay, he's gonna disregard all of his responsibilities and forget about us as soon as he says, I need to do something for me. When it's not that.
Yeah. You know what? It's fun. we spoke about this before as well. Like this comes down to, and I don't know whether society has made this way, but I think especially when you come to fathers, right? I think there is this kind of pre-cut configuration that you already have enough time to yourself. Does that make sense? Like you've already got enough time to yourself. So why are you now taking the piss? Why are you doing more? And it's hard to shake that. I think we sometimes even play into it. I think early stage, if you think back when you first have a child and whatever, the kind of first idea of I'm going to go out Friday and Saturday. Yeah, that in the early stages, I think it can be a bit problematic, right? Because it's like, well, you've already got enough time, but actually Monday to Friday I'm working, as you were before this child was here, and I'm not, for context, I'm not speaking about my wife here, but it's something I've heard. This is something I've heard as well, definitely. Yeah, I've got to throw that. I got to throw that in there, right? But yeah, I think there's already this kind of preset notion that you've already got enough time as a father. So therefore, you kind of doing something for yourself. Don't you already have time to do that in your own spare time? Whatever this little thing that you're doing. And I think this is where communication definitely comes into it. And this is not a whole thing of, hey, look, you need to communicate when you're in a relationship. It's the way in which you're communicating, how you communicating what this particular thing is to you, and how important it is to you, and what it means to you, and why actually I'm going to stay up a bit later and finish this off, or why I'm going to miss going out, or actually I can't go out on this time and this date. I think that's where it comes to. And I think to kind of answer your question, I don't think it's seen as okay for men to say, this is something that I want to.
But what I'm saying is,
go for
you're
it.
right.
Yeah.
Like, what I'm saying is, we have a part to play as well. As you said, communication. I've heard too many times where it's like, I'm doing this for you. I'm doing this for you and the kids. You should be happy that I'm doing this kind of thing. And I've been a culprit myself of doing that until I realized that wasn't the way to put it across. What we need to start doing is explaining how much this project, this thing that I'm working on, how much it means to me as a person, and how I need to do it for myself. Obviously, if it's successful, if it takes off, whatever it is, we'll all benefit from it. But for me to get up in the morning with the right motivation to take care of the kids, to help you, to do all that I do, I need to work on this as well. I need to have time to work on this as well. And I think that's lost sometimes, because not many men are explaining it in that way. And some people may see purpose as just some la-di-da-di word that just gets thrown out there, that just sounds nice. But honestly, purpose is what keeps most of us going. It could be something so small, but it keeps most of us going.
Hey, yo, what you cooking?